Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Q&A of the week. We have gotten a very powerful question this week, and I think what comes up in this question has been the theme on so many levels for us. So I'm just going
Mhm.
to read it. Um, I was I was already feeling burnt out from the pandemic, but now it feels like with the war and climate change, everything has piled up, and it's totally overwhelming. I feel like I am losing faith on so many different levels. Is there anything at all that you can suggest?
First,
Yeah.
take a breath and know that you are not alone in those feelings. I think I don't know anybody right now, professionally, personally, family, friends. I don't know anybody who's not overwhelmed right now.
Absolutely.
So that I would say, know that you're not alone and know that collectively, most of us are feeling this as well, us
Yeah,
included.
absolutely. 1000%.
Yeah. So here's what I recommend in times of really like kind of like an existential burnout and losing faith. Like, how do I even, what's the point? How do I even get back any faith? First, I would say in the vein of like recognizing that you're not the only one, reach out to the people that you can connect with, because I think connection, first of all, is the most important thing to help us feel some sense of purpose or some sense of faith. Reach out to people that you can connect with right now. And even if it's just talking about how burned out and how much faith you've lost, have these conversations, reach out to the people that share this, and it can be comforting. Um,
Yeah.
I think also there's so much in the world that we can't control. And in moments like this where you feel a complete loss of faith, that there's a lot in there that has to do with I know I can't control any of this. So I think bringing it to a level of what can I control right now? I can control me to some extent, my actions and reactions. And what can I do right now in this moment to connect to myself, to connect to other people in a positive way that, yeah, I know none of my actions are going to change what's going on in Ukraine right now. I mean, I can give money, I can, do any kind of efforts like that, but me, I can't really have an effect on a grand scale, but I can have an effect with the people in my life and just being there to help support them and myself. So, what do I need right now? Do I need to just reprioritize, simplify? Um, do I need to do things that feed my soul, like listening to music? Um, and knowing that I can only control my actions and reactions, and I can just connect with and give to the people around me, really is the best advice I have right now. And um, some people have said, well, I want to stop watching the news, but I also feel like then that's like some kind of bypassing. I don't want to pretend like this isn't going on. And we totally get that, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to stay engaged. You want to be an engaged citizen of the world and share in the heartache and everything that's going on. And absolutely, yes. And also bring yourself into your present circumstances and moments. And I know there's a lot of guilt of, we've been experiencing this with clients, like
Yeah.
these people having their homes bombed and having to run with everything they own in a suitcase, and then some of them dying, not making it, and
Yeah.
here we are just not having to struggle like that at all. And there's a lot of guilt. Um, it's not your fault. You have to recognize, like, again, you don't have any control over what's going on over there. So to separate yourself from that guilt doesn't help anybody. Compassion, yes. Um, feel for them and the tragedy, but guilt doesn't serve them, doesn't
Hmm.
serve you. You didn't make this happen. You didn't choose for this to happen. So kind of
Yeah.
separate out from the guilt. And then I would say really just kind of simplify, slow down, and be as mindful and as present as you can, and focus on connection with yourself, connection with others. And that's really the best advice that I have. Elisa, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, that's really amazing. You covered a lot of it. And I identify with a lot of what you're sharing. Like right now, this is a human condition. Yes, there's the psychological stuff and we help with therapeutic tools, but it's almost like we're kind of all in this together for
Mm-hmm.
real. I mean, we always
Mm-hmm.
are, but
Mm-hmm.
this really feels like the magnitude of this is massive.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been having conversations about our clients nonstop about this. Everything you shared is incredibly precious and valuable. I would say that one of the tools that we utilize that maybe we could share a little bit about is to find a seed of either your faith, but right now that might feel challenged, or a
Mm-hmm.
seed of your values that feels quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote unshakable.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are saying, yes, I do have my faith or my religious beliefs, but right now it's hard to even connect to that because
Right. Right.
whatever I believe in still isn't stopping what's going on.
Yeah.
So maybe think about yourself, your sense of self, who you are, what you value, and tune into that.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly to the mindfulness that you were sharing about, like what do I need, in what ways can I connect to people? And maybe we can also think about the what can I give to myself,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
is similar to a need, but it's almost like you don't just embody the position of receiving, but also the position of the giving. And then the
Right.
receiving, it kind of becomes like an internal loop. And then in what way in this moment can I also serve another? And
Yes.
sometimes when we're burnt out, we're feeling like, oh my God, I cannot in any way imagine dedicating myself to serving another right now. But it can be even in very, very small ways. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes smiling at someone in the elevator,
Mm-hmm.
asking somebody how their day was,
Mm-hmm.
um, taking an extra second to watch that this lady finds her keys and actually
Mm-hmm.
puts the keys in the door and gets inside safely. If you see someone getting inside and you're walking around and maybe it's like 11 p.m. and
Mm-hmm.
little things can make us feel like those are so true and they're true no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's sort of what came up for me because
Yeah,
that
that's great.
seemed thanks. That seemed when we were talking to our clients like even more unshakable than the faith. Like, well, who I am and what I believe in,
Right.
at least in terms of my own values, remains unshakable. Yes, I would still help this
Absolutely.
child. Yes, I would still act in this manner no matter what's going on. And
Right.
that feels grounding and rooting, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think really this is hard because it's so difficult on so many levels um right now. And it's not just like, okay, here's a 5-step plan to, whatever, beat your inner critic, or this is just heavy stuff. And it's big stuff. And like you said, I mean, it makes us test our faith and what's bigger than our faith, you know? And truly, I think always maintaining a little seed of hope, a little
Hmm.
seed of hope, like in the darkest day, this is the darkest day today, and just have teeny speck of hope that tomorrow will be better is what keeps us going. So again, if you can align with your values, like you
Hmm.
said, to connect yourself to that and then just keep going. You just keep pushing through the days, looking for the hope that tomorrow will be a better day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and then knowing that it's totally normal and totally appropriate to feel the way you're feeling and let that be okay. Do you know what I mean? Like this,
Yeah.
yes, this is normal. It's an appropriate response to what's happening right now. So there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to feel like, why am I weak? Why can't I, this is normal.
Yeah.
And so just, yeah, take it a day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And if you have any more questions or would like more support, um, we're here for you. We'll see you next week.
Take care.